Hello, everyone. How's your day today? Thank you for joining the podcast. As always, we appreciate y'all stopping by and listen. My name is Jeremy, aka Mr. Fun Guy. I'm joined with my homeboy, my compadre, my homie.
This is your boy David, aka PhenomenalMiklo.
Today, we're going to do a tier list of the greatest and the worst of the worst Red Rangers. So
hmm
now, this goes without saying. This is our based and honest opinions of what we think is the best and what is not the best. Uh, Feel free to tell us what you think. Who's your favorite Ranger? Who's your worst Ranger? Because hey, at the end of the day, still be friends, still not agree with one
Yeah. So, like you said, we're doing a top tier Red Ranger list from Mighty Morphin all the way to Dino Fury to include all the auxiliary Rangers that were there for more than one episode. So, A Squad, SPD, which was there for a couple of episodes. Liambo from Mystic Force was there for a couple of episodes. Uh, who else?
another.
There's a couple. Oh, Psycho Red,
Yeah.
which was there for a couple of episodes and appeared in a whole different season for a couple of episodes. So, um, things like that. You know what I mean? That's what gets included into these tier lists. Um, so that's what we're gonna be doing, and as well as
All
the
right.
2017 Mighty Morphin Power Ranger movie, um, because it is a different Red Ranger than the actual 95 Mighty Morphin Power Ranger movie. Um, so it's ranked differently.
So now, like I said before, this is how we feel. This is honest opinions. No one come at us. You know, y'all can go to tiermaker.com, create your own, do it with your friends, and determine who is your best ranger or worst ranger, or best or worst thing. And let's know down in the comments of what you guys think and what place where we should place correctly. Um, because we are phenomenal. We like a good debate, we like a good argument, but at the end of the day, like I said, we all remain human.
hmm Definitely. So, without further ado, you guys, we're gonna jump straight into it, and just go from there. So, let me get this situated. I want to make sure that you guys are able to see everything that we see, so that way you guys can't just be like, oh, well, they just ranked it on however they felt like.
Yeah,
No,
great.
no. 98% of the time, me and Jerry agree when it comes to certain things. As you guys have seen in the previous recordings that we've done, when it comes to tier lists, we tend to agree differently on certain things just because of the fact of how we rank everything. But for the most part, how I think is how he thinks is how I think. We just so happen to agree on a lot of stuff. So, um, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight into it. So, as you guys see on your screens now, uh, it has all of the Red Rangers as well as the somewhat faces included into it. So that way you guys can actually be able to determine, okay, cool, it's this ranger and this ranger, right? So like we've said, we do have Psycho Red in here because he is a Red Ranger, even though he's evil, yes, but he's still part of a Ranger team, right? Um, where is she? A Squad, Red Ranger, was there for a couple of episodes as a Ranger and is introduced as a Red Ranger. Okay, Liambo from Mystic Force was there for a few episodes and he is the original Mystic Force Red Ranger until years later when Nick takes over. Okay. Well, we're not including Cosmic Fury.
Yep. No, because Cousin Fury's not even out yet, so we're not going to include something that's not out. But we do have uh, Eric, who played Rocky in Earth 218 from Unworthy. Now,
Yes.
we know Unworthy is not canon, so the canon fanboys don't come after us because we only put Unworthy on this list because Unworthy is probably not the greatest uh, fan production Power Rangers in our basic opinion. And it deserves a mention. It deserves to be on the tier list because Arbiter is probably one of the best series that they have.
Yeah.
Uh, shout out to Unworthy, man. You guys are awesome.
Yeah. And we also have Hyperforce Red Ranger, which is canon, by the way.
Yep.
It has been proven
It
that
is
it is
good.
canon. So you guys can go ahead and whine and complain about that, but don't shoot us about it. Take it up with the heads of the Power Ranger department. So,
Yeah, Power Rangers departments.
with that being said, we also do have JDF as well as TJ as two separate entities when it comes to the Red Rangers
Yes.
because they are both Red Rangers. JDF carried Turbo for season 1 for the first 20 episodes. TJ carried uh, Turbo for everything that came afterwards up until the season finale of Turbo where it was introduced to it in space. So
Right when the power tumor blew up.
right. So that being said, you guys, okay, don't flip a lid because of everything. We want to be able to make sure that everything is included. Like I said, we are including those that have. Um,
Also, we're going to rank these. I just thought of this. Besides of how long they worked in an episode, there's a lot. We're going to rank these because the Red Ranger member, the team was the leader. So we're going to rate these through leadership. How well did you lead their team, and how high of success did they have in each fight? But for while David's fixing out the technical difficulties, you guys, we have some more stuff on our YouTube page. You see it as a podcast. We have lots of stuff there, including recordings. We do some tier lists. Uh, we also have some game streaming from like Call of Duty, Cold War, Back for Blood, all kinds of stuff on there. We're slowly working our way up piece by piece. Um, we do have a few streams coming up. I think two heavy hitting streams. One being Diablo 4, which one me and David are highly looking forward to. And then we got Exo Primal also on the horizon in July. So we have a Twitch. I think it's Zeonizer Pod 3. Is that correct? Okay, so Zeonizer Pod 3. There's no videos on there quite yet, no clips, no nothing, because we are saving it for June and July. So if you guys want to follow us still, you can. Just be patient. We are working ever so diligently and ever so quickly. Put more material up, more content for you guys. We're on Instagram as well. Zeonizer Podcast 3. Uh, Give us a follow. I mean, it's like ever since we did that interview with Grimm, we've gained a lot of followers and we've gained a lot of support within the Power Ranger community. We do appreciate it. No, Roborita, why would you say that? No, you sound like a young Alpha 5.
so it is robotic then.
Not that bad, though.
That's weird.
Domino Mongrado, Mr. Roboto.
Oh well, I'll fix it later. I'll fix it
There
later.
you go.
I'm not fucking tweaking it right now. All right. All right. So Uh, First up, so the tiers that we have, right, are greatest of all time, A, B, mid, which is C, obviously, D, and then F, as in Rita's dumpster fire. Okay. With the
Okay.
Zeonizer podcast, we have been synonymous with ranking anything that's an F as Rita's dumpster. Shout out to the Morphic community because of the fact of if it's in Rita's dumpster, it's pretty bad. Okay, so it's the worst of the worst, and there's no coming back from it at all. Okay, I do not want to have to put any of the Red Rangers in there, but
You know,
if we have to, we have to. You guys, I mean,
but
we can debate why, but I'm pretty sure it's because we have a valid reason for it.
we did pretty damn good. I mean, I can already tell you there's going to be a few Red Rangers that's going to be in the dumpster. I'm just not going to say which one. But we actually did a really good job on the scene on the franchise seasons, none of which ended up in the franchise ending category, which I'm proud of that. Few ended up in D, some in mid, but can't say the same for this particular tier.
Right. So we just gotta just make sure that we do what we can. I mean, we're always gonna back up what we pick with facts. It's not gonna just because personal bias. It's gonna be facts. It's gonna be straight up like how did they lead the team? How are they as a leader? How are they? Their strong points, their weak points. Were they more Red Ranger, and if they had more than one season, okay, were they more of a secondary Ranger? Those type of things do come into play in when we cast these recordings and these tier lists the way that we do. Okay, so it's not just because of personal bias, right? Um, it's because we have a mindset way of thinking about everything. So don't just assume that they doing this because of this or whatever. No, we spit with facts. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it because we have, as you guys see, we have a lot. Okay, we have 28 and 29 Red Rangers that we have to go through. Um, so let's jump straight into it. Mighty Morphin, Season 1, Austin St. John, as in Jason Scott, Red Ranger.
Okay, the OG, the first Red Power Ranger, not Sentai, but first Power Ranger
Mm-hmm.
in the entire franchise. Zord, I mean, chose him above the other four as to be the leader. And to me personally, he did that work. He was also a martial artist.
Mm-hmm.
Um, determined, showed really good leadership abilities. Was not only strong at mental mindset, but it was also strong physical. Was always that one person you could go to for assistance, for help, no matter if you were a ranger or if you were a civilian or someone they went to school with. It was always smiling. If you notice in some of the times where not more, he was always smiling. That's also a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
So in my book, being the OG, he set the standard for what a Red Ranger should be. Caring, loyal, and strong. GOAT, instantly for me.
Okay, I respect it. I agree. Leadership was just off the chain. When it came to actually the fights and everything, he was always the one to kind of designate, okay, you guys go here, you guys go here. I'm always gonna take the evil bad guy as you guys deal with the putties and the henchmen. I'm gonna go for the main guy. Um,
Right.
just kind of wear him down a little bit so that when the rest of the team came in, he was able to wipe them out together as a team. Um,
Right.
Kind of set the bar for what a Red Ranger leader needed to be, in my opinion. He set a very high bar at that, so great. He's GOAT for sure.
All right. Yep. Agreed.
Rocky, Mighty Morphin, season 3, season 2
Season
going into
three.
season 3.
Season two goes season three. Okay. Now, if this was Rocky before the White Ranger, then he would definitely be under A, in my opinion, because he did show that leadership. quality. He wasn't as goofy as that funny guy. He got thrust upon the role in Jason's spot. But season three, whenever White Ranger came to be about,
What
he
Ranger
kind
came
of
to
saw.
be about in season 2, bro? Not season 3.
That was season three.
Season 2.
Oh, I'm getting old. Okay.
So White Ranger was there before Rocky was.
Oh, he was. Wasn't
Mm-hmm.
he? Okay, that's right. Okay. Yeah, I need to go do my homework and rewatch season two and season three. Okay, well, it's no secret. The guys in the Z3 crew, David and Jared, both know I prefer Rocky Zeo Blue than
Mm-hmm.
I do Mighty Morphin Red because I felt like when he was Zeo Blue, he wasn't as stuck in Jason's shadow. He was able to do his own thing, his own legacy as Zeo Blue Ranger. I didn't really like Rocky as the Red Ranger. A lot of people didn't because, Austin St. John's character. Is he funny? Yes. Does he provide some comical relief in fights? Oh, hell yes. But he's not as strong as Jason, and that's a fact. I'm gonna have to go with B for Rocky.
B for Rocky. Yeah, I would say that. Just because in Mighty Morphin, mid season 2, all the way to the finale of season 3, as good as Rocky was, um, he essentially ended up being the third most important Ranger because with JDF, props to JDF being the White Ranger, he took over that leadership role when
Yeah,
Jason, Trini, and Zach went to go do the uh,
talking.
the Teen World Summit, and ended up being the
Yeah,
Omega Rangers, which switches into the comics. Um, Jason, David Frank, Tommy, White Ranger, he took over that role. And then when Rocky was placed into the Red Ranger role, he still was not number 2. Adam, who was the Black Ranger, who ended up becoming the Black Ranger, he ended up being number 2. And then Rocky was number 3. That's how I feel,
mhm.
you know. Because then you see it again when Zeo comes around, it's Rocky's Zeo Ranger 3
Great.
Blue.
Yep.
So B works for me. He's not exactly mid. He was actually very good as a Red Ranger because he still maintained that sword I'm looking for. It's on the tip of my tongue, but characteristics. There you go. Characteristics
Yeah.
of a Red Ranger. Like he was powerful, yes. He did everything he needed to do. If he had his own individual team, whether it was him and Billy and you know Aisha or Tanya, right? Or if it was Kat, because at this time Kat got put into the picture, or if it was Kimberly, right? He still was able to lead that team and be able to do things if Tommy was not there. So, still as powerful as he was still able to execute when he needed to. So, B, I feel is the right place for him. So, uh, next up, we have Alien Ranger, Red Ranger, Aquatar.
I forgot his name though. Oric, not Oric.
Yeah, I have no idea. It cut off like the picture when it uploaded. It got cut off a little bit. I will say this. Now, if we were talking
Oric.
about this Auric,
Yeah, Orica. Or Oric. Yeah, something like that.
yeah. Now, if we were talking about Super Sentai,
Yeah. Let's see. Go.
it'd
Super
be
Centaur.
for Phil Sentai, it'd be different.
Yeah.
Okay. But since we're not, truthfully, I cannot rank this anything higher than a B. Lowest,
You're being you're being more generous than I am being.
what are you thinking?
I was thinking mid.
Okay. Why?
Okay, first, okay. One, I never did like the Alien Rangers. Okay, I was
Okay.
kind of like I said, I didn't know Super Sentai was a thing after Lost Galaxy. You know, I rewatched everything and noticed, hey, there's Alien Rangers. And I had to correct myself to know it's Kaku Rangers. So plotline made more sense in Super Sentai than it did the Alien Rangers. The fact that this particular Ranger always got on my nerves. He felt like a Curly from the Three Stooges, but in rock, kind of like an off-brand Rocky, so to speak.
Mm,
Um, very clumsy. This one was. Even though he did seem like he was a leader on the battlefield, but anytime you saw him unmorphed, it was the White Ranger, the female, always in front of them. But it made no sense to me. Uh, yes, the alien rangers can be powerful and because they have the battle boards and whatnot. Uh,
right.
I just cannot. I'm not going to give a go A or B. I was going to go with mid because the whole part I think was season three whenever they became kids and they
Yeah,
took
at the
part
end
of
of season
half a
3.
season. Yeah, half the season, and that was nice to see and all. But they got their ass kicked a lot. Like not gonna lie. So I'm gonna go with mid
Okay.
for alien rangers.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, he did get his ass kicked a lot. Um, it was pretty cool to see a female, not a Red Ranger, but a female lead a Ranger team, be
Yep.
the sole leader of the team. So who we're talking about is Delphine, who is the white alien
Yep.
ranger for Aquitar.
Yep.
Dope personality, kicks ass, very cool. So yeah, I can see it mid. Next up, we have Tommy, played by Jason David Frank, as Zeo Ranger 5 Red.
Ooh. I ever, bro, million years. Yeah, if I ever rate him any lower than a go, please kick me in the nuts.
I'm gonna,
Honestly,
I'm gonna get you. Don't worry. I got you. I'll wear my steel toes and I'll even super
bro.
glue some spikes.
Yo, hey. I said, hey, yo, no. Bro, I'm gonna have nightmares now. I want to have more kids. Okay, I don't want to have to worry about my wife, my next to me in the hospital. Like, okay, what you do to piss David off now, Jeremy? No. We ain't doing that.
Hey, man, you said it.
Only reason why we're putting ZO5, Red, Tommy, and Gope, um, like, honestly, the greatest Rangers ever lived, or excuse me, it's the greatest Ranger who ever lived.
Yep.
And he was made just in great rest in peace. Um, Zeo stronger than before. Uh, like we've done all these tier lists that involve Zeo. We've always put them in the greatest of all time. Always put them in the legendary status because that's where we got the name of the podcast. And we were going to say it, so we're being fans. Of course, Tommy, leadership abilities through the roof.
Yeah.
Um, Constantly was not the strongest member, if not probably more stronger than Gold Zeo because he technically kicked Jason's ass in King for a game.
Yes
I
and
mean,
no.
he kind of did. Kind of did kick. I mean, even
Kinda
though Jason was
did, but he was holding back too, bro.
he was holding back, yes, but Jason didn't hold back whenever he fought the Green Ranger and defeated Mighty Morphin.
No, that was
When
different.
Jason was no, that wasn't different. He was brainwashed, same way in Mighty Morphin when Rita kidnapped him. It
True,
was the
but
same
the
thing.
Green Ranger powers were essentially cursed from Rita because of it. So not only did he have the power of evil, but he also had the evil sword. which
The
made
Sword of
him
Darkness.
more power. Yeah, the Sword of Darkness, which also gave him additional power on top of it.
But I'm putting him in GOAT because, like I said, leadership, instant strength, power beyond measure. It's just he looks every form he took, he looked kick ass. So
Oh, that's a good.
GOAT in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I'm not even arguing with you on that one.
Man, he kicked ass in green, white, red. Man rocks black better than anybody, man. I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm. That's for sure.
Uh, and soon to be rocking the Legend of White Dragon. So
All right, next up, Turbo, season 1 Turbo. I'll put it season
yeah,
1 of
yeah,
Turbo.
yeah, okay, you're going to confuse the listeners when we say that. Okay, now, me and David believe Turbo is two seasons piled as one because we're all used to a different season uh, cast changes. Okay, so whenever Tommy wanted to leave, what to become, I think in his character he wanted to be a racer. Was it a racer originally?
Yes, you want to become a NASCAR racer.
And the actor JDF wanted to leave so he could pursue his mixed martial arts in the main. And season one started with Tommy being the role of Tommy, just didn't bring the role of Tommy with the Red Turbo, right? The Zeo. Uh, and then after that, cut off, and then TJ took over, and that's when season two kicked off. Because season two started when TJ took over and into free space.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I like TJ. Like I said, this is the same thing with Rocky, who was stuck uh, Tommy's shadow, and to me, didn't feel like he succeeded as much. If this was Blue Ranger, I would be putting TJ Blue and Goat tier this week. I'm gonna go with eight, just eight probably.
Okay, so you said A for TJ and what for Tommy?
Goat.
Okay. I want to make sure I heard you right.
Yeah, I don't want to get kicked in the nuts. Thank you.
No,
Um,
I agree with Tommy. Go straight up. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. The only one I am conflicted with, though, to be fully honest, is TJ at a rank of A because of the Red Ranger. Now, did he hold up the characteristics of being a Red Ranger? Yes. Did he direct his team when they needed him most? Yes. Did he have a pure heart? Yes. However, and I stand by this, okay? I felt that TJ was a better second in command than being a leader. I felt he was better as the in space Blue Ranger than he was the Red Turbo Ranger. Okay? The reason why I say this, it's because it's hard as hell to hold the mantle that JDF created as being a Red Ranger. On top of that, being the leader of a Ranger team. Okay? Now, in, as we call it, season 2 of Turbo, him and Justin, Blake Foster, had a special relationship, just like JDF and Justin did. That was replicated with TJ um, and Blake Foster. Okay. However, I feel like I still feel like it was too much of a comedy duo. Like I
I feel
felt
like
like Carlos was more serious than TJ was. You know what I mean?
I feel like you're gonna put TJ in mid.
No, 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 no. I was gonna put him in B.
Oh, B. Okay. Now that you say that, I'm rethinking everything. Um, because I only put him in A. I only put him in A because uh, whenever he took over the first few episodes of that of him being a Red Ranger, he kicked
Mhm.
ass. Leadership was there, his
Yep,
power was on there, his tenacity to face the villains without no question, no thinking. I'm gonna direct you over here, just go at him. I
yep,
would put him in A, but now that you mentioned Justin, it makes a little sense. Now you mentioned Carlos. Was more um, headstrong in that role.
mhm.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
Okay,
now that
you
you
see what
say
I'm
that,
saying?
I agree. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And if anybody wants to disagree, hey, by all means, throw the reasons in the comments. I am happily to argue with you about it, to debate with you about it. Okay, again, this is my personal opinion, right? I my list would consist of TJ being in B. I mean, Jeremy want put his in A. Um, so,
Agree to
but
disagree.
yeah, agree to disagree. But we don't have a agree to disagree. So we'll put him in A because Jeremy is right within the first 3 to 4 episodes, as TJ was still finding himself. He did take the role of being a Red Ranger very seriously, and so he did portray that. He did hold that mantle. So I'm cool with leaving him in A, and we'll just keep pushing. So Andros in space, Red Ranger.
You killed Zordon, you filthy bastard. Just joking.
He did. He really did.
Yeah, he did. Killed him. Instead of finding ways of smuggling that bastard out of that fucking space station, he did it. Man, Andros is a tricky one.
Yep.
I will admit he had his goods and he had his bad. He felt kind of stuck up whenever the Rangers first discovered the astral dimension. He felt stuck up about it. Um, was he a little bit of a loner? Yes. Well, even when the Rangers became part of the team, he acted like, "Oh, this is my spaceship. This is my team." He's very demanding, very uh, lone wolf type. So
Yeah.
he actually warmed up to the team uh, until the Silver Ranger question to the scene, and that went fucking crazy. That was like a Maury episode when it happened. I A lot of people like to put Andros as goat status. Uh, for those of you who watched the earlier tier list, me and David did not give it such a high tier list because Space wasn't that good of a season in our opinion. Without the
Hmm.
Psycho Rangers pushed the envelope on the Space Rangers, and quite honestly, it was actually kind of entertaining watching them get their ass kicked by another set of Rangers, evil Rangers.
Yep.
The fact that Andros, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, beginning of him fighting the Legion of Evil, him being that cloak already morphed, that was badass. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Uh, his leadership, he's got a good leadership, but his leadership does not compare to the leadership of, say, Jason or Tommy or
Hmm.
Cole or Mike or anyone, Leo for that matter. So, my honest opinion, Andros, since he was a little stuck up at the beginning and kind of, lone wolf, even though he had a range team, I'm gonna go with B.
Okay. Okay. I can see that. Andros did kind of have himself shut off to the world. Um, he was a bit of an asshole. A
Yeah,
couple of the
he
seasons
was.
ends, a couple of episodes in, he did lighten up once he started seeing that the Rangers were about
Uh-huh.
that life. About protecting the Earth, about solving problems, about trying to find his sister, right? Especially Ashley, the Yellow Ranger, kind of melted him down a little bit faster. And then when Zane came along, the Silver in Space Ranger, that's when he started to see Andros fully come out of his shell. So it did take some time for him to stop being that Lone Ranger mentality, but I feel that he did have a lot of negative qualities. He really did. Um, and we just listed them. Biggest thing of him being is the lone wolf and him having that this is my team, this is my way or the highway type of mentality. And as a Red Ranger, you can't have that mentality. It's one team, one fight. So,
So, um, now most now for those of you who are going to see this was the last maybe the season. It was kind of controversial. We had a lot of people saying that we tiered incorrectly. But also need to understand this space didn't have a lot of power ups. It didn't have a lot of resources like the other seasons did. So they were the only season to have less resources than all other teams. But we're not going to put him any higher than the list. Some people might say, well, he had first ever battleizer. True and all that, but we're not rating this by battleizers. We're rating this by leadership and how long they were in episodes and who were.
exactly. So, that's how we're doing it. Again, you guys are more than welcome to give us your specific reasons in the comments below. And, we'll gladly debate with you, and go from there. Okay. Now, next up on the list is Psycho Red.
Psycho Red. I don't know. I can't pronounce the actor's name, but I know he's on the conviction circuit. Heard he's a cool dude.
Yep.
But Psycho Red. I mean, what more can you ask for a villain? I mean, a villain of five Rangers, which I was actually shocked that the Pink Ranger was the one that survived out of all of them. And the Red Ranger, I think, was the first or second one to be destroyed. Uh, but powerful as fudge, man, I'm telling you. The fact that they each had their martial form. His was to me the coolest one out of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And took it to especially Andros. Beat the crap out of Andros on almost every episode, man. Uh, but since he did I think he was the first or second one to be destroyed. Uh, he didn't last as long as Pink Ranger did. The Pink Cycle Ranger did. I'm gonna go with B for Cycle Red.
Okay. Keeping it fair. I like it. Um, I agree. B, as short as he was, he did make a huge impact in the In Space series, and then as well as the Lost Galaxy series. He was very hungry to destroy the Red Rangers. I don't think he was the second when it came to Lost Galaxy. He was the second to get destroyed. But when it came to In Space, I think he was one of the last ones to get destroyed because we got to actually see his evil form. Remember? We
No,
got
but
to
I'm pretty
see.
sure.
Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Just because we got to see Pink's evil form, Blue's evil form, and then Red's evil form. Yellow and Black's, I don't think we got to see their evil form. Because Pink's evil form we didn't see until Lost Galaxy, and then Red and Blue we got to see um, during the In Space season. I think he was one of the last ones. I want to say second to last. I could be wrong. I'm not gonna lie because I'm kind of running through the season in my head, so I would have to
Yeah.
rewatch it. But fairly certain.
But
I'm like
if y'all
80%
know
certain.
the, if y'all know the order of which Cycle Ranger was destroyed first and last, you can comment and correct us. There's just so much going on right now
Yeah.
in our day-to-day lives, so we're trying to cram pack everything and remember everything as much as we can. So feel free to correct us. We're not going to be mad.
Yeah.
We'll just learn something new.
Yeah. Yeah. And if we forget to mention something, by all means, like we forgot to include the Omega Ranger, Omega
Yeah.
Red.
Yep.
Technically, he's from the comics. This is we're doing actual TV shows. or YouTube shows. So,
But you know what? That could be a good our next tier list.
yeah,
Tier list.
could be. It could be. So, next up is Leo, Lost Galaxy, a Red Ranger.
Okay, I'm gonna let you take this one. I'm gonna follow up with yours.
All right. Um, I felt like he was not the greatest of all time. Felt
Yeah.
like he was A because Mike technically pulled out the Quasar Saber to become the Red Ranger. He didn't actually morph though. Leo did. So Leo was basically handed without a full power transfer, or with technically with the power transfer because Mike gave him as Mike was falling through the fucking the hole in the ground on Miranoi or on the moon, sorry, and gave him the Quasar Saber. No, it was Miranoi. Yeah, he was falling through the hole, the crater on Miranoi, and gave Leo the Quasar Saber because of how mad Leo was. He ended up morphing, became the Lost Galaxy Red Ranger. I felt like he was always in Mike's shadow, and he knew it, which he did show throughout the season. He was in his shadow, missing his brother, grieving his brother. He was very emotional, which was very cool to see because you've never really seen that side of a Red Ranger before. You did see it a little bit when it came to Andros. Sorry, that was my puppy. He's still trying to find his voice. When Andros had any mention of his sister, Corone, you got to see that emotional side of the Red Ranger, but Leo had it for an entire season. Now, was he powerful? Yes. Did he, kick butt all the time? Yes. Um, his battleizer was stupid. Um, did he ring up the strength every time and never have that never say die attitude? Yes. So he was basically everything that was correct with the Red Ranger, but because of the fact of how he perceived himself, kind of just knocked everything down. As a Red Ranger for a Ranger team, you're supposed to have that confidence in yourself, and he didn't have that. He said it multiple times that it's not his destiny to be Red Ranger. It was Mike's destiny. He just got it you know, because of him just grabbing
Yeah.
the Quasar Saber from Mike, which he's not technically
Well, I
wrong.
mean, well, I mean, okay. So, where's your answer to where you're gonna put Leo?
I feel like I'm gonna put him in A. Like I would put him in A because he's not greatest of all time. He's not, he's close. You know what I mean? Uh, but he's just not he's
He's
not
not
there.
going through it.
Yeah, like he's cool. You know what I mean? Like he's kick ass. Like if you he's dependable, everything like that. You know. But as far as like to say he's one of the amongst the greatest of all time, no, I wouldn't go that far.
Okay. So you're set on A.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything you said, I agree with on A. Uh, the thing here is what I liked about him is even though he didn't ask to take the mantle,
Mhm.
I believe he. I remember it, but I don't know who had the sword first. I think it was Mike. Mike was an
Mhm.
apprentice. He was about to fall, and he hands him the saber, or I think he like here, grabbed the saber or whatever, and he hands it to him. Says it's yours now. And even though Leo never asked to have that power, yes,
Mhm.
at times it seems like he refused it. He didn't want the role, but anybody would have just, stuck that sword back in the stone and walked away and continued the grieving process. He didn't. He uh, he kept on going, and even though it seemed like his leadership abilities were questionable at times, sometimes emotion can get in the way of commanding the squad back
Mhm.
in the States, but he did overcome it. He did rise above it, and his brother Mike came back to back as a defender, uh, and that was an even better reunion of the two. And I think after that happened, he truly showed his leadership colors with Mike.
Yeah, you do have a point on that.
So I agree with A.
Okay. Next up is Carter Lightspeed Rescue.
Nope, nope, you got this one.
Okay.
I refuse to acknowledge that one.
Okay. Um, Carter, I mean, he did have the leadership ability. He did bring the Lightspeed team together. Could never stop Joel from flirting, but then again, I don't even think a trained psychiatrist could get Joel from stopping to flirt. Um, Always down to prove himself. Always willing to save somebody, no matter what the conditions were. But then again, outside of being a Power Ranger, he was a firefighter, so that did kind of give him that ability. Um,
Yep.
was always quick to
Agree.
do what Captain Mitchell said. Um,
Mm.
so kind of a Boy Scout in that point. Never really questioned orders like that. And if he did, you know, kind of got away with it. So I'm gonna go B just because he did. He's not really the greatest of all time, but he did kick ass. He did prove himself and everything like that. The West Time Force.
Okay. I wasn't a big fan of Time Force, and I'm still not. Um, I felt like this was like Back to the Future Power Rangers. Almost.
Okay.
Didn't like where really
No.
didn't. You know,
Okay.
I'm not saying mid because I watched about 5 or 6 episodes. I watched about 5 or 6 episodes of Force and then couldn't do it no more. I didn't like the story. I didn't like the cheesy elements. I didn't like his attitude, more or less. But people
How?
are going to say,
Okay, you're gonna have to explain to me and the viewers why.
I just didn't like his attitude. Really, I mean, it's hard for me to explain. He acted like he knew. There's times where his cockiness came up, and he did have problems with multiple teams, but I mean, he did have leadership qualities. I mean, like I said, I only watched 6 episodes, and then after that, I was a kid. I just didn't watch it no more. I was not
Yeah.
being, what's the word I'm looking for? I was not intrigued
Hmm.
no more. I lost, I almost lost the ability to completely stop watching Power Rangers because at that time I didn't like the fact that time travel. And, uh, it was the first time ever watching a Power Ranger get destroyed by
Oh.
Rancid. That just kind of like like no, no. And at this point in time, like I said, I've watched this since I after Lost Galaxy. So when the Time Force started, I was watching. By this time, I was watching Change.
Mm.
So watching Change, man, and then watch coming over. So Time Force. I'm gonna watch Time. It's like, I don't know. Characters were kind of out of place, kind of wonky. I didn't to me feel that there was any chemistry in Time Force.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna go with mid because I don't want to get into this dumpster fire and be that way. Because I did watch some of it, just not all of it for a full rating. But I'm gonna go with mid. But I'm gonna go off what you said.
I would go lowest. I would highest on a good day A, but in reality B, just because of the fact Wes did have that entitlement. I mean, he did come from a rich family. His father, wanted his life to be the way that the father wanted. Wes said no. You know, met Jen, met with the Time Force Rangers. Started doing it that way. Basically gets cut off from his father. You know, starts helping out the Time Force Rangers even more. You know what I mean? So I can understand that the attitude that you were talking about. He did have a very entitled, attitude. Because of the fact that he's coming from money and you know wants his life to be more than what his father wants him to be. Uh, on the turn, he ended up getting that because he ended up being a Power Ranger because of it. Um, and so I see where you're coming from with that, but I still feel like Wes was more than that. You know what I mean? Because he proved time and time again that he belonged with that team and he belonged doing what he was doing. You know, and then every time his father came into the picture, he stood up to his father no matter how much it hurt him. Proving that true heart is what gets you further in life. You don't always have to do what everybody tells you to do, and you can have your own dreams and you can have you know, your own future and your own life and not have to do things the way that people tell you to do. Which as a kid, you don't really understand that until you watch it later on as an adult. Um that's how I feel.
I was gonna go with mid. You made a lot of good points. So we'll go with your suggestion.
Okay. Now Eric, on the other hand, Quantum Force, Quantum
Now,
Quantum Red Ranger. Him, I would agree mid.
yeah, I mean, even though Jason Font he was Quantum Ranger, Jason Font, right?
No, Jason Vaughn was regular Time Force.
Okay.
It was
Speed
the
recall
other
trying
dude.
to, yeah.
It was the other guy.
Okay.
Eric.
Yes, you're right. You're right. I did not like Quantum Ranger. Really. Um, and even though, like I said, I only watched 6 episodes
Hmm.
of Time Force, so I went back and watched a few more episodes on YouTube years later. And it was like, why do we need two Red Rangers? Like,
Yeah.
seriously. I thought Wes was talking. Holy shit! Like he had that full life attitude. Like he was better than everybody. The fact that yes, the Q Rex. Not gonna lie, I'm gonna say that's badass, but we're not going by Zords.
Hmm.
If we were, then he would be high on the list. So I will go with mid. My personal opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Eric's attitude for the entire season was, you know, I'm the Quantum Ranger, do what I want, how I want. All I want is power, and that's all I'm gonna achieve. I'm good. I got this far because of my power, because of what I know how to do. And to me, that wasn't really the persona of being a Red Ranger. Even got to the point where, um, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is how I remember it. But when he first transforms into the Quantum Ranger, like I think an episode or two later, when
Yep.
Wes's father tries to recruit the other Time Force Rangers, he was gonna have Eric be the leader of the Time Force Rangers
Sure.
instead of Wes. Could be wrong, but I remember that's how it. I'm like 85 to 90% sure. Um, his arrogance was kind of his downfall. Now, was he powerful? Yes. Was the costume itself badass? Yes. Megazord, badass, greatest of all time, hands down. But him as a person, him as a Red Ranger, as a Sixth Ranger, that I felt like he was more of a Sixth Ranger. He would be ranked higher, but as far as a Red Ranger goes, mid. Cole, Wild Horse.
Mm. So
Mm-hmm.
he did. He did show a lot of leadership qualities. He did. He was actually stronger on his own a little while, a little bit. Uh, he showed a more emotion where he lost most of his words and all that, but he did show a lot of emotion. The fact that he can take a team and turn it into his own. Even
Mm-hmm.
though Merrick came to be into the team, he didn't lose sight. He he still commanded the team with absolute authority and respect. Even there, respected him for a bit.
True.
Uh, Many people put him in GOAT standards, but you may, I may be more generous to where you're going to put him, but I was thinking A.
I was thinking B.
Ooh, what's your reasons?
Okay. The way
Now,
this dude
let's
carries
try.
himself, the way that this dude carries himself. Okay. I agree with majority of what you said. Now here's why I rank him in B. He is more concerned with the earth, like nature and the animals, than the actual people. Okay. The storyline for Cole is his parents were killed, right? And he was raised in the jungle by
Yeah,
monkeys. Basically a
yeah,
modern version of a Tarzan,
more or
right?
less.
Now, because of that, when the Power Rangers pick him up, you know, he was basically homeless, roaming the streets with the jungle and everything. Because of it, you know, all that nature, good natured stuff. But as you rewatch Wild Force, he takes care of the team, yes. He does what he needs to do, yes. But at the end of the day, he's more concerned, and the way that he even speaks, it's very splotchy. Like, we are here to take care of the earth and the animals. We will do it for the earth.
You know who you
Like,
sound like? Sound like William Shatner.
basically,
I'm not gonna
right?
lie.
But William Shatner
Uh,
is the greatest of all time. Okay,
yes.
but the Cole is not.
I mean, can you
Um,
blame the dude, man? His parents were killed. I mean, I would hate humans too if someone killed my parents. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, but you don't have to talk like William Shatner because of it.
Well,
Like the only
he was an
person,
icon.
how he was raised in the jungle with monkeys.
Maybe the monkeys had TV and direct TV. That's all I know.
Friggin' wish. Um, that's just me.
Wait. Hold on. Are you putting him low tier because he was raised by monkeys?
No,
Honestly,
no. It's just the way
I'm
he
the
carries
same,
himself.
bro.
It's just the way he
I
carries
mean,
himself. That's it. Plus, I can't stand the way that this every time this dude talks, when I watch it on YouTube or when it was on Netflix, I would fast forward 10 seconds
you're so mean.
and then I would press play. Like, dude, but it's like you don't have to put you don't have to emphasize every letter or every word that you're speaking. Like,
Oh God.
we need to get to the moon and destroy this team for the Earth. Like, my guy, you take 5 minutes to say 3 words.
No, but no. Come on now. You have to admit. Okay, I'm gonna change your mind here. Now, you talking about him, bro. That's the highlight of this episode. You talking just like Cole. Um,
I'm telling you, man, like, this dude takes 10 minutes to say a few words. Like, it's just,
okay, maybe they were going for like a Tarzan aspect. Tarzan talked about it. Maybe, but I'm gonna change your mind.
Okay, try to
Forever
change my
Red.
mind.
Okay.
Okay.
Forever Red. The fact that Cole got to meet all these Rangers, all the Red Rangers. It's
Mhm.
probably to me it's the best team up ever. You can agree, you can agree, those disagree. Forever Red is the best team up ever.
Agreed. Agreed.
The fact that he freaked when Austin St. John was walking up, he goes, oh, oh. He's like, covering his hands covered in sweat, thinking like, oh, this man doesn't want to touch my sweaty hand. Jason's like, dude, I've had far worse touch me, bro. I want to touch your sweaty hand, bro. But it was kind of cool the fact that they knew he was a newbie.
Yeah.
Even Jason said, "Go for it, newbie," and it looked like he hesitated, like, "Oh yeah, right, what's this?" But you can't lie, Cole is comical. I mean, he has funny moments, especially in Forever Red. When
Yeah.
he was there's
He
the
does have his
girls,
funny moments.
whenever, and that's cool. At the end of Forever Red, he goes, "Wow, the greatest Red Ranger ever." And then that sparks a whole bunch of debate. And see all the Rangers like, "No, he's not the greatest Red Ranger." Yeah, boy out here starting fucking drama with the best Red Ranger bullshit. So, uh,
And that's where we come in.
Cole, Cole, okay. The fact that you got a laugh out of me all day. This is the first time. This is the whole time you got a laugh out of me all day. That deserves Cole to be in.
I'll give it to you just because I made you laugh.
Thank you, and don't ever talk like that again. Not even at my wedding. I swear to God. Today we are gathered here to celebrate Jeremy and Dina. Holy matrimony.
Watch.
If
Now I'm gonna
anyone,
do it on purpose.
if anyone objects, please stand up and raise your hands like you just don't care.
All right, let's move on. Ninja
Okay.
Storm, Red Ranger, Shane.
Okay. May the actual Poe, rest in peace.
Yep.
To me, I like Ninja Storm.
Okay.
In my way, for anyone listening, you guys can actually watch entire Power Rangers seasons on YouTube. Me,
Yep.
me and David were watching seasons of Ninja Storm and SPD, I believe. And
Ninja Storm, SPD,
Mystic Force.
Mystic Force.
And I'm thinking we're gonna do, record us watching these episodes and giving our initial reactions to each episode, of the season in general. But Ninja Storm, very good. I think was this the first Disney Ranger?
Ninja Storm,
Is it?
Ninja Storm, Ninja Storm. Yes.
Okay, not gonna lie, Disney did a damn good job with this. Many people don't give Ninja Storm credit as well as Mr. Force and other uh, Ranger seasons that Disney did.
Mhm.
Uh, Shane, even though he was, I didn't understand this. He was red, which you think symbolizes fire, but he was element of air. Um, I liked him. Funny, he has comical moments, even though was it Dustin? It was Dustin,
Yes.
right? Even Dustin was a comic book, but he was funny. He was always there. But Shane's had a lot of badass moments. When the Thunder Rangers came along, oh shit, we put Crimson Ranger in here too.
Mhm.
Okay, making sure. Um, I did like Shane's character, the fact that he was joining this ragtime team of three. I think it's the first time we had three Rangers too. Um,
Yes.
and even though they kind of flunked and got expelled from Ninja Academy, uh, they came back. I'm sure coincidence by circumstance after everything got invaded. And I think he got thrust into the role of leader, and I think he did a damn good job of it. So I'm gonna
So they
say
weren't
good.
expelled yet. They were on the verge of being expelled, and
Yeah,
then right when they walked into to the Ninja Academy to be expelled, that's when Lothor and his evil ninja team attacked, and basically kidnapped everybody and then turned Sensei into a guinea pig.
Yeah.
So you were right. He was thrusted
After,
into the role of a leader from
yeah.
the get go. He was a skater dude. Didn't really had that. I'm a skater. I'm more concerned about going professional. I don't care attitude. Wanting to live his dreams and what he wanted to be about was skateboarding and everything. So I do respect that.
So I
Um,
mean, since this acting, like I said, is no longer here, and I get that tree, 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 and just Frank is people kind of forget that Howell was also passed away as well as
yep.
Madonna, uh, Master Fant, a lot of Rangers and a lot of characters he portrayed in the Power Rangers series on. So, uh, First is one of them. But in my opinion, you can argue with me. I don't. I'm gonna put Shane in GOAT tier because, like I said, Thrust upon him.
Hmm.
He made two, and he was a damn leader. He's a pretty kick-ass leader.
Plus, not to mention during his Battleizer episode,
Yes,
which is, I believe, three. Correct me if I'm wrong. 3 episodes long,
think about that.
right? Um, that's where you see like the never say die attitude, and then did he get
Yep.
revenge for Skyla? Yes. Um,
Yeah.
you know, uh, he his character basically developed because of it. Big time. So, um, very, very, very good thing. Hunter, Crimson Red.
Okay.
If you want, I give my piece, so it gives you time to think about yours.
Go ahead.
Okay, so Hunter starts out evil, right, with his brother. Thunder Rangers start out evil because of Lothor, and then because they're told a lie that Sensei destroyed their parents, killed their parents, so they're gonna go after the Wind Rangers. Um, Arrogant, cocky, confident, uh, turns good. He is the final one to turn good because both Crimson Blue and Crimson Red, right? Thunder Blue, Thunder Red, they basically get turned evil. They turn evil, turn good, and then Hunter gets turned evil again because this time he has like this green goop on his face. Um, kicks the Wind Ranger's ass. Okay, they're basically Dragon Ranger, Green Ranger 2.0, right?
Yeah.
Um, I give him a B, just to be generous. Um, if we're gonna analyze everything, it would technically be mid because he really didn't contribute. I mean, I love the actor. Hunter as a character, Thunder Ranger is dope. I mean, as a like fourth, fifth Ranger, dope. But as far as like Red Ranger goes, to be generous, B. Realistically, mid. That's all.
Okay. I was going to go with mid because I didn't really care for the Thunder Rangers. I was actually hoping that it would be because I was perfectly fine with Cam and the original three.
Right.
Um, the Thunder Rangers didn't really appeal to me. I mean, they were awesome as evil Rangers. Thing it's proven in the chemistry and the formula in Power Rangers that the characters who are the most evil people like the most because they're strong. Holy hell, but they fight better. They have more powers. Everything falls in place and makes sense. So when they were evil Rangers, I was kind of excited because after we had Psycho Rangers, I wanted the same formula. I wanted the same aspect. And then when that came into play, I was like, yes, we're gonna get some good action sequences, we're gonna get some good story, and it you know flopped in my opinion. And when it went to become good, like David's right, many times a good range, evil ranger becomes good, they lose all that power and they think suck.
Mhm.
Um, I didn't like the vocal sequence of the Thunder Rangers at all.
Really?
Um, to be honest, no, I didn't. So in my opinion, I was gonna go with mid, but I'm gonna agree with um, David on this one. I'm gonna put mine in B.
Okay. Next up, Connor McKnight, Dino Thunder Red.
Okay, Down and Thunder is an easy go to season, but we're not going by season. We're going by Rangers. Red
Mhm.
Rangers is right. Not gonna lie, this is a good season. This is a good Ranger. Um, I got to rewatch a lot of Down and Thunder because I remember some of it. I don't remember all of it. I've seen the whole season, but it's been so long. I think I'm gonna find a day where both me and David are off, and we're just gonna binge watch Dino Thunder. Um, I did like the Super Dino mode, and the fact that he did kick a lot of ass in that mode. And the fact that even though Dr. O, Tommy, uh, was part of the team, he didn't flinch. He didn't give up his leadership role because Tommy was on the team. He kept on going full steam, full strong, and because he didn't flinch, he didn't give up leadership qualities to Tommy. He kept that role.
Yeah.
Uh, he had high leadership qualities. Even though when Trent got on the scene, the evil Stegosaurus wiped down the region. So that time they got their ass handed to him. But
Mhm.
besides that, I'm gonna go with Goats here, in my opinion.
Okay.
Um,
Connor. See, I would have to disagree and put him in A. And here's
okay,
my
what's
reason.
what's
Here's
your
my
reason?
reason. When we first get introduced to Connor, he's an egghead. He's a jock. He's basically, you know, he's basically mean to the Blue Ranger as well as cocky because he's trying to date every girl that's under the sun. You know, and he doesn't let go of that attitude. You know,
Right.
so for me, that's you know,
Well, I'm gonna change it, okay? Because who would not like to change? Excuse me, who would not like to change Jock's mind? Get them to realize that people are people, and you gotta be there for those who are weaker than you, and come to the power of deciding field. Even though yes, he was a jockey, he did take on the Blue Ranger. He soon thereafter developed a close friendship with him.
uh
Even though he before Power Rangers, before he became a Ranger, yeah, he was a jerk. He was an asshole. I mean, yeah, a lot of jocks are. But the fact that he changed his ways after finding out that Tommy was a Power Ranger, and the fact that he was himself, he understands that these two people that are with me are my team. I have to be their ride or die. I have to be there for them. And significantly changed his character and right here the season.
still say he's an A.
And, uh,
You tried. Good for you. but I still feel like he's an A. Just because I
You know
mean
what?
it took an entire season for his character to develop. Like only up until the last I think 5 or 10 episodes, that's when his personality really switched. Or after the Battleizer episode, I'll say.
Okay, because we are good at agreeing to disagree. Let go, direct. There's no tier in between goat and A.
I can create one.
How about legend or like S? It's real funny, and it's me and David talked about this. The fact that Sky didn't get rid, hate him. Well, it was actually kind of comical. He was kind of an asshole. The fact that Jack was a criminal
True.
or Robin. He felt more like a Robin criminal in my eyes. Um, and the fact that he got him and his friend were in jail and they were given a plea deal, sort of sense, serve your time or become part of the team. And even though Jack was given this role, I think is well one episode we watched. I think it was the second, third episode. I think second episode. Um, Bill made the mistake of telling Jack, "Oh, you can do what you want. You're the Red Ranger. You have that to demand respect. Do what you say. You have to do what you say, and all this other stuff." I would put him. I would have if that didn't happen. Say that it didn't happen.
Hmm.
He had all the leadership qualities. He'd be a goat. And since he used his position as Red Ranger to get what he wants, and constantly battle with Sky a lot. I mean, I'm gonna say A for one reason because he did argue a lot with Sky, quite a bit,
True.
and any Red Ranger would avoid any argument and show leadership on the battlefield. I mean, Jax did that, but that episode he's a jackass to his team. Made him do all those drills while he's setting up comic books and hitting on the staff. Like, go back and watch. He was hitting on that woman that brought him uh, plate of food or something like that. And if that didn't happen, and if he was an actual true leader, he would be GOAT status. But in my opinion, even though if he was given the rules just to avoid jail time, he stepped up in later in the season. Him and Sky quit fighting, quit bickering, but for a good part of the season, it seemed like Sky and Jack were like the each first spots. I'm gonna put him in A. It's my opinion.
Okay, I agree with that. I agree with that. A, yeah, he was more of a Robin Hood. Um, it was given the option of either doing jail time or to join the SPD team, B team. Um, was arrogant, was cocky. That was for sure. Was arguing with Sky, but then again, Sky was also arguing with Jack because Sky felt like he should have been the Red Ranger because his dad was a Red Ranger rather than actually earning being a Red Ranger. Um, Jack did have that quality of being a good leader. I mean, he did have that never say die attitude, but that cockiness and that always wanting to prove that he's right, that did get him a lot. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
SPD, A Squad, Red Ranger.
Now, David made a good point, and we wasn't recorded when he mentioned this. We were actually watching it. Now, when Doggy showed him a video on A Squad saying the SOS video, the Red Ranger was a male,
Mhm.
and then pan over to when they appeared, they were just female. Uh, and if you don't believe us, go back and watch the season. David made a good point when we were watching it, and it made us think: was there a betrayal in the team that led to them being evil, or what? So I ne- I never liked 18, you know,
Mhm.
because one, the rip off space helmets were hilarious, by the way. Um,
True.
and the fact that they just looked like they had on biker gear, motocross gear, and that was really not really intimidating.
I felt like it was more laser tag than anything.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like they had like motocross pads on and whatnot. That's what I thought they were.
Mhm.
And their swap mode was a joke compared to uh, B Squad. B Squad swap mode was freaking awesome.
True.
I do not like it. I give you so many reasons why I don't like A Squad. Just I don't think there was no leadership qualities with Red Squad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with because I don't want to put anything in the assumption unless I really have to. I'm gonna go with D.
Okay. Yeah, I respect it. This was the first time we've ever seen a female as a Red Ranger. For a couple of episodes, and so it was very important. However, like Jeremy said, if you rewatch SPD when S you know A Squad sends out the message that they've been ambushed or whatever to Doggy Kruger, A Squad at that point in time had a male Red Ranger, but then episodes down the line, when they show up again and everything, now that Red Ranger is female. Okay, um, it's it's one of those things where it's touchy subject because she didn't really was she powerful? Yes. Did she handle her own against the original SPD Rangers? Yes. That's really all she had. Okay.
But the
Uh,
fact that you all for stupid reason made no sense to me. So,
yeah. So
but yeah,
D works. Next up is Mystic Force Red Ranger. Nick.
okay, all right. Now it goes without question that me and David top five seasons is the fourth spot in top five. And we'll tell you that.
Oh yeah.
We felt that Mr. Force was underrated, underappreciated, and still is.
Mhm.
A lot of good. The story is awesome. The story is wonderful. But Nick, as a Red Ranger, uh, now this is a good question, my bro. Because I felt that he used it a few times to be the role. Like he wanted nothing to do with him. And then at the
True.
time that they needed him, he walked away to go back to his motorcycle and leave until he, you know, gets thrown into the situation worse. And it seems like he doesn't really want the role as much, want to be the Red Ranger. And there were some episodes where he did fight with Daggeron quite a bit. He did disagree with some of the things that Udonna did. He struck out his
Mhm.
own a few times. Um, but that does not stop him from being, a great ranger and a great leader and a very, very powerful Red Ranger. I mean, he does not get enough props, enough credit.
Mhm.
I know we're not doing battle items, but Red Dragon Fire Ranger is my top three battle items ever. Um, just dope as hell with Fireheart. I'm not gonna put him in GOAT. I'm not gonna give him any lower S, so I'm gonna give Nick the Ranger.
Okay. I respect it. I agree. He was very good as a leader. There was a few times where he wanted to quit or surrender himself and give himself over because of either his team or because of Udana. And then when he found out that Udana was his mom and Liambo was his dad, uh, couldn't really believe it. Couldn't really understand who he was, so he was still trying to find himself throughout the entire season. Um, so it's one of those things.
I mean, I would have given him a goat if, like, whenever he found out that Donna was his mom, and they found that out. He kind of had like a sort of sense of entitlement, when he found all that out. But if that's not how it went, and it went down some different path, he would have been. But I felt that since he found out who his parents were, he did have a sense of entitlement. That's why I put him.
Yeah. No, I agree. S works. Liambo,
No,
aka Korag.
forward. Now, Borat kicked the living shit out of the Rangers in every episode.
Oh
Um,
yes.
he is, man, I think to me, he rocked his sword and shield combo better than anybody. And
Up until
he
Caillou
looks,
Ranger.
absolutely, yeah, I'm still Kai Raven. You're correct. But I tell you, he looks badass in purple, but he looks more badass in red. Anything. Um, and the scene where him and Nick were fighting, Nick is purple Korag, and then Liam Bo's red. That that battle when they're fighting the entire time, all over the place, Briarwood, inside the headquarters, and everywhere. And it was a damn good fight, and Liam Bo is a very strong character in this force. And the fact that he can turn to uh, this legend that I think, what do you call it? Ancient
Ancient
Mystic
Mystic Mode.
Modes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's so awesome. To, usually we're used to seeing monsters, evil monsters having that form, and we saw Psycho Rangers have that same monster form. And this is the first time we ever saw a Ranger have a monster form. I mean, Daggeron had one, and Leonbo had one.
Yep.
If you have not watched Daggeron and Leonbo train Daggeron, and see Leonbo's mystic form whenever he had to lock away the master is awesome. The fact that he has an ancient mystic mode propels him a little bit further, but we
Hmm.
don't see much of Leonbo before he becomes evil again. Uh, so I'm not gonna give him goat tier. I'm gonna put him in S. Where
I agree. I mean, if we were talking about Korag, then it'd be a different story.
go,
Korag would be GOAT, hands down. But we're not. So, um, uh, that being said, Liambo, as powerful as he was, S tier. So, next up, Mac, Operation Overdrive.
okay. All right. Now, Davis still hasn't forgiven me about what I told him how Operation Overdrive, Andrew Harper, and Mac remind me of. He still hasn't forgiven me about it. If y'all look at this in an interesting way, Android Harper was far the worst mentor ever. There's no need to change our mind. He's the worst mentor ever. And Mac reminds you a lot of Geppetto and Coconut Pinocchio. Since this was another one by Disney, so Mac, my God, his character was so bland. It was so not there. Originally, correct me if I'm wrong, but originally it was supposed to be Hartford was going to be referenced.
Correct.
Mac took over. Not gonna lie, that whole scene where he spin that morph in his hand was dope as hell. That was kind of cool. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie on that one. The fact that he had that childish antics, like he was always joking around, never taking anything serious, and I'm not gonna say spoiler because everyone's seen Operation Overdrive, but he's a fucking android. Okay, that right there kind of put salt in my wound whenever I watched it. I was not gonna lie, I was actually excited for Operation Overdrive, and then whenever that scene where literally he blows up and you see his body parts all over the table, and you see his head just sitting there, it's kind of cringe. And it was kind of creepy as hell. You don't lie. Um, but I felt that his leadership wasn't really all there. Plus, Operation Overdrive as itself as a season didn't do so well.
True.
I'm, I just don't like the fact that he was Android. That just puts sour taste in my mouth. Uh, I'm gonna put Mac in D.
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 Okay.
D is in damn.
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 Okay. I agree. I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head on that one. Um, Next up, Casey, Jungle Food.
Jungle Fury was a damn good season. I don't care who anyone thinks. Originally, Casey and this is kind of like correct me if I'm wrong, but Jungle Fury and Casey felt like a zero to a hero.
True.
It started off in the forgot what academy was it? Claw Force Academy?
Think so.
The Claw. Um, started off as a cowboy, and of course got picked on mercifully because he knew kung fu. He just didn't know quite a bit. Didn't even have his animal spirit yet, and risen through the ranks and became Power Ranger. And even though he was brash, he did have his arrogant side. He learned from them.
Mhm.
He didn't give up. He didn't quit. And he was always learning something new. And the fact that, and this is the reason why I put up so high. He becomes his own teacher. Now,
True.
he and here's the thing: if you remember, Rumble Master Mode, he was the last one to get it. Um, I think I'm
I
right.
thought he was the first one to get it.
You sure? I thought he was the last one.
From what I remember, he was the first one to get it, but he was the last one to get his master stripe.
Oh, yeah. Yes. He was the last one to get his Master Stripes, and you can tell he was irritated. He was losing all hope. He didn't cave in. He didn't give up. He rose to the challenge, and he succeeded in his Master Stripes, and that was a beautiful moment. Um, and just
Hmm.
because he had that never fake guy attitude, he never quit, he never gave up. He was even a good leader, and an even better friend to Theo and Lily. Um, so, in my opinion, I'm gonna put Casey in F tier.
Okay, I respect it.
What about you?
Um, S tier. S tier sounds good. It sounds fair. I mean, he's not really the greatest of all time, but he does essentially he doesn't back down from Jared. He does a lot of good stuff when it comes to that. So I respect it. The next up is Scott Truman, RPM Red Ranger.
Yeah. All right, I will let you do this one.
Scott Truman. Now, Scott Truman, he does, you know, he he's a decent good Red Ranger. He's not necessarily cocky about everything, but he he is. confident in a lot of things. He is his father's right hand. Um, so he does listen to his father a lot because his father is the Colonel Truman, for the city of Corinth. Um, it's kind of hard to place him just because he does a lot for the Ranger team. But his cockiness when it comes to his car and everything, because he does have a Ford Mustang as his car, doesn't allow anybody to drive it, doesn't allow anybody to touch it. He's very sensitive about his car. Um, Always trying to prove something because his brother, his older brother, was a fighter pilot just as he was. And for that, they, you know, he's always trying to prove himself, just like Leo was. So, to be fair, A, I mean, he is a pretty good Red Ranger. He does, keep the Ranger teams together. He does everything he can to defeat the enemies, whether it's sacrificing himself or whatever. Um, the second Ranger to not have a battleizer. Um, yeah, A, to me sounds fair. What do you think?
I mean, you made a lot of good points. It felt like a yes man. His dad was his right here. He felt like a real big yes man. Um, to me, he did. He showed leadership qualities. He did show he was able to hold his own a few times. But yeah, I really feel comfortable.
Jaden, Samurai, Red Ranger.
But I have no words. I was not a samurai fan. He was a super samurai fan. I mean,
Mm.
if you gave me okay, if you gave me the choice to watch Megaforce or watch Samurai or jump off a building, I would probably look at you and say, okay, well, how high is the building? This is literally what I
Yeah.
was. Um, I didn't care for Samurai, even though yeah, the pilot of it was cool. The way they morphed looked awesome. Uh, they didn't feel like Samurai to me. So I watched a few episodes of Samurai. And I just gave up. So I'm really not going to this one. I'm gonna let you decide. You're like I
Yep.
we're not going to get. I just okay. Let's just agree to disagree and put it in this dumpster. How's that?
Well, he's not even Reader's dumpster, to be honest with you, because he does everything he does is to try to fight Master Xandred and keep him away.
Mm,
Trying to live up to his family's legacy, um, which we come to find out later on down the line that he's actually the second in line to hold the Red Ranger powers. He's not the first. Um, does he prove himself? Yes. Is he a kick-ass Ranger? Yes. Provably, I just feel like he's mid.
I'm gonna go with your suggestion because, like I said, I didn't.
Neither did I, but all right. Next up, we have Lauren.
I'm not touching this one.
Dear God.
Makes you wondering. You said dear God. Makes you wonder. Makes you wonder, guys, like dear humans.
Probably.
Probably.
All right. So those of you who have watched Samurai, okay, come to find out that Lauren is the first in line. She is the second female ranger that we've seen for a major team behind A Squad SPD. Um, we see her for a couple of episodes. She is more concerned with putting away Master Zandrin than the actual Ranger team. She really can't connect with the Ranger team. Um, Again, it's her mentality. It's okay if it's not my way, it's the highway because I'm trying to put away the basically the pinnacle of all evil at that time. It's just hard because as a Ranger, she didn't really show much.
Was it seem like a free episode?
Yeah, it was only 3 episodes. I don't know, just to keep it fair, mid, because I don't want to have to put it anything lower because of the fact that she didn't really show much. Like SPD A Squad Red Ranger, she didn't really show much either. You know, she kicked ass when she needed to kick ass. She didn't really show much. Like Lauren showed a little bit more because she actually had behind the screen time uh, outside of the costume. You know, like face to face in real life FaceTime with the Ranger teams. So
Yeah.
yeah, mid. I mean, there's really no other way I can put it at that point. Troy, Megaforce.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna think on mine. I'm gonna let you go on this one.
Troy as Megaforce, I would put him in D
B.
because D dog damn.
Okay.
And here's my reason for it. Megaforce was starting to become the Neo Saban era, and they were trying to correct themselves. Okay, Samurai kicked off the Neo Saban era, and which is why they revamped the whole Mighty Morphin theme song. Megaforce was right to follow. Um, in its entirety, I felt like Megaforce uh, basically was trying to find itself. Uh, Troy as an outsider coming in, making friends with the Ranger team, that was cool and everything, but he was too much of like a lone wolf to really do anything. Troy, regular
Yeah.
Megaforce, D.
I was gonna say so that I felt that his character was very generic and lacked
Yeah,
much of a backstory. Um, he kind of like broods a lot, like kind of like you know what I mean by brood, right?
yeah.
Like brooding. Uh, he has as much as enthusiasm as someone going for a root canal. That's that's, that's how bad. Okay, um, but at least he sticks to being a ranger and he doesn't turn evil.
True.
Sorry. Um, but still, it does not make him a better ranger. So I will agree with you on D.
Yeah. Now, Troy as in Super Megaforce, B. because this is when he
Oh
starts to
yeah.
find himself. He's able to access the different rangers, so it gives him a little bit of a different personality. He dreams up the legendary battle, which in turn, basically he prophesizes the legendary battle. Um, he's a better leader when it came to Super Mega Force. Like I said, he really does define himself as a leader within this season because of it. So he has a better character development in this season than anything.
Okay. I'm, I think you hit all my points. Yeah. Yeah. Damn it! Why you gotta keep doing that?
Mm-hmm. Just that good.
Okay. I'll go with B because I was going to put him in C, but I can see where you're coming
All right. Now we have Tyler. Dino Charge. Red Red.
from. Okay. Dino Charge. Okay, my memory serves me right. That's the one where they had the pistols with the blasters.
Yes.
Uh, yeah. That's actually my youngest daughter's second favorite season.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, first one being Dino Fury. Daddy, watch Dino Fury. No. Oh come on, Daddy. No, go to your room. I'm kind of iffy on Dino Charge.
Okay, talk to me.
Okay, so Tyler, you said Tyler, right? Tyler
Yep.
Navarro. I mean, he's an adventurous. He puts a lot of energy into his leadership role in Dino Charge. Also trying to find out what happened to his father, who I believe disappeared 10 years earlier,
Yes.
um, while he was on a archaeological. Um, leads to an obsession with finding the person responsible for his father's disappearance.
Mm-hmm.
I think since he's rash and he doesn't think, he put his team in danger, and that's not cool. Um, and I believe he focused on his efforts, switches from focusing on revenge to focus on saving the host. To me, he can be a serious leader, a
Mm-hmm.
serious ranger, in my opinion. I just think the fact that he put his team at risk the way he did and his obsession. I was going to put him in an A originally, but that obsession put his team at risk. The leader's not supposed to put your team at risk. They're supposed to analyze each and every aspect of a battle. Think about how to defeat this monster or how to defeat the villain, not
Mm-hmm.
just with something that you put your team at risk. So with that, I'm gonna say B.
Here. Okay. I agree. Tyler was quick to kind of be of a hothead because of, especially when it came to Furio, which is the person
Yeah,
who kidnapped and abducted his dad. Um, he was quick to get revenge until Keeper, who is the mentor for the Dino Charge Rangers, kind of told him like, "Hey, revenge is not the best answer," uh, type of thing.
yeah,
So that I respect, I understand. So I get it.
yeah.
Uh, Next up is Cody, I believe his name is Ninja Steel Red Ranger.
Cody, you sure? Is that his name?
Brody, sorry, Brody.
Brody. I didn't really watch much movie still.
Hmm.
That was I was struggling with homelessness. So, I didn't really watch much of it because I had to find a good Wi-Fi spots. Or anything Wi-Fi spots in my part of Dallas. So I think I watched like 2 or 3 episodes. I didn't really finish watching Ninja still, so I can't uh, pause it for whole honesty. Uh, hear this correctly because I want to be able to watch it and get my honest take on it. So with that being said, I'm gonna let you hear this one.
I don't know, man. Um, to be honest, I'm gonna have to rewatch Dino or Ninja Steel in order to accurately give this one. So I would say until I'm able to give it a proper ranking, to give it B for the meantime, rewatch it, and then we can redo this list. Or you know what? Let me just create a whole new column, and then we'll rename it. Uh, I don't know. What do you think?
Uh, other studies needed.
Further study needed, and we'll do this baby blue. Further study
Oh,
needed. Brody.
okay.
Red Beast Morpher.
Okay, I watched a little bit of Beast Morpher
Yeah.
earlier today. I like what I see. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Devin is a gamer, a video game,
Yep.
does karate. I mean, and his father, he's the one in charge in the town where the pirates become responsible for protecting.
Mhm.
Um, uh, another way the Rangers are this particular Rangers related to another character in the series. Um, to me, Devin rises to the occasion. And to me, there isn't any other candidate to become the Red Ranger on the team but him. Uh, he might have the ability to morph and thrust on him by scientists, but he doesn't back down from the enemies. He doesn't back down from the villains. Even when he doesn't have the protection of the power behind him, he still didn't back down.
Mhm.
And that's good leadership quality. Even though you're not a Power Ranger and you don't have, regardless if you have the power, you still fight. The one to defend yourself, and you fight for those around you, for those you love. Um, he's good at rallying his teammates, from what I've seen. Uh, who I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, they were never supposed to be Rangers either.
So, in the original setup, the two evil rangers end up being evil.
Yeah,
They are supposed to be the original red and the original yellow, but they turn
yeah,
evil. So the blue ranger
yeah,
is the only one that stays from that original team and stays as the blue ranger. The red ranger gets, kind of knocked into the morphing grid and
yeah,
morphs and he becomes the red ranger. And then same for the yellow ranger. Kind of unexpected, right? The Yellow
yeah.
Ranger, she actually works at the facilities, right? The Red Ranger doesn't. He's kind of snuck his way in, following his dad.
Mhm.
Becomes a Red Ranger.
So
Um,
I wanna tier this because I'm right now like episode 7,
okay,
but I'm slowly watching it. I like what I see. I like the morphing. I like the visuals. Megazord's dope as hell. Um, I'm gonna give Devin an A because
okay,
I said even though he didn't have power, the morphing he still fought enemies. He's a gamer. He's chill. He's laid back. He's really good at rallying his teammates. Whatever. They need him, and he does not question support whatsoever.
Right. All right. Next up, Zato, Dino Fury, Red Ranger,
Uh,
which I've seen a
okay,
lot of fan theories stating that he is technically the original longest running Red Ranger.
come again?
In Dino Fury.
Yes.
Because this dude, right, the Morphing Masters, go back in time to establish the Power Rangers, the Dinomorpher powers, right? Morphing Grid, all that stuff. Because of how old Zato is, he's 65 million years old.
Oh, okay.
He is
Yeah.
technically, by technicality, the oldest and first Ranger, according to the timeline of Dino Fury. In actuality, no. But according to the Dino Fury timeline, he is technically the first and original.
But that's the Dino Fury timeline.
Correct.
Um, in my opinion, we did not know. Okay, still to this day, uh, OG Red, Austin St. John's, Jason
Yep.
is first Red Ranger because one, we had no, he didn't, Zato didn't exist. So Hasbro picked it up and they created the Dino Fury. And no, I mean, y'all didn't think about this. They're just creating a new timeline and say, "Oh, this is the first Red Ranger." You don't say that because you know Mighty Morphin Red is the first. That okay. That's like saying uh, Dawn Brothers was the first Sentai. That's not by no means. Um, so I did not like Zato because the fact that he's quick to trust any leader. A leader has to be able to trust his team and team trust him. The
Mhm.
fact that he was not quick to trust made it hard for him to form alliance and into the team.
Mhm.
And very brash, very I got this. Don't worry about it. It's my problem, not yours kind of mentality. Uh, get away from me. I don't know you. I don't trust you. That's not what you want as a leader because the team's going to start questioning your motives. Oh, can we trust you? Well, the
Yep.
problem is we trust you, but you don't trust us. So I'm like, I would I would never think the end of it if my daughter's heard this in this dumpster. So to be fair, I'm gonna say no.
Okay. I agree with that. Arbiter, unworthy.
Okay, unworthy. Yes, before y'all say put unworthy is unworthy is unworthy. Unworthy is a worthy in your words. Uh, fan fiction uh, show, the TV show. Um, they mostly do it online. It's not like full screen, nothing. I wish it was. Uh, but they have a lot of good ideas. So much good ideas. I think it takes place in Earth 218, right?
I believe so.
218. The role is Eric, but he plays Rocky in Earth 218. Um, there's so much good that comes out of Worthy. I mean, they haven't made anything bad yet. I mean, that's amazing. Um, the Last Ninja, Psychos, uh, the Arbiter, the Death Ranger that they just recently did, amazing. Um, but I'm not going to put Unworthy in GOAT tier
Mhm.
because, I mean, maybe one day, Unworthy will be GOAT tier. But it's a good fan fiction. It's not canon, no. We don't really care if it's canon or not canon as long as you know, has respect and community. It does have a lot of respect.
Mhm.
A lot of people follow Unworthy. You wouldn't believe it, people follow Unworthy. Me and David, one of them. Uh, so I'm caught in between S and A. What do you?
I feel like A would be a smart move. S would be extremely generous. And as much as I
Yep.
love Unworthy, it it does have its flaws. I mean, I'm torn, you know. Arbiter for Unworthy is a very good character. It's portrayed very well. Um, you know, it does have a lot of good benefits. So I think A would be a proper place for it. S would be extremely generous.
You know, even the Rangers in this seems to be worthy. Spend a lot of time running from the Arbiter because he's so OP, so badass, trying to wipe out all the multiverse Rangers. But I advise anyone to go check it out, especially
Hmm.
go check out the Chrono Ranger, probably my favorite Ranger. Really huge. Um, but yeah, check it out. Give him a follow, give him a like. Um, oh yeah, so we're gonna put red unworthy. Hey,
Hmm. Hyperforce Red.
of course not. Okay, of course being a tabletop RPG, not really. I think was it 2017 when it first came out?
2017, 2018,
Working on
roughly.
short. It was pretty short lived, but it was good. They get stuff on YouTube mostly. Um,
Yep.
it was enjoyable. I liked the plot. It just took place like right after Time Force and right before Time Force or in the middle, one of those two. Um, you don't really get much character development here. I mean, it's a tabletop RPG in real life. Um, I mostly like Bulk's character. The fact that we got to see Bulk, Power Ranger, that was dope and cool as hell. Um,
Hmm.
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with
B as in boy. All right. The movie, 2017 movie. Really?
Brad.
All right. Fair enough. I will say since then we added the category of further study needed, I will drop. Uh, where's he at? I will put. Who did I say I needed to study more?
You still
Ninja Steel. Where'd you? Yep, Ninja Steel. But who else? There was somebody else. It was Neil
well,
Saban. I know that much.
I think it was interesting.
That was it. That was the only one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. So this is our list. This is what we feel like. So greatest of all time, right? Red Rangers are Austin St. John, Jason Scott, Mighty Morphin season 1, Zeo Ranger 5, played by JDF, JDF again with Turbo, Red Ranger, and then Pua as Shane, Ninja Storm. S is Connor McKnight, Dino Thunder, Mystic Force Red, Nick, Mystic Force Leonbo, Wolf Ranger, Casey, Jungle Fury. A is TJ, Turbo, Leo, Lost Galaxy, Cole, uh, Wild Force, Jack, SPD, Scott, RPM. Forget the dude's name, but Red Beast Morpher. Arbiter, Unworthy. B is Rocky, Mighty Morphin Season 2 and 3. Andros in Space, Psycho Red, Carter, Lightspeed, Wes, Time Force, Hunter, Crimson, Thunder Ranger, uh, Super Mega Force, Troy, Tyler, Dino Charge, and then Hyperforce Red, Alien Red, Mighty Morphin, Alien Ranger, Red Ranger, Quantum Ranger, Time Force Red, Jaden, Samurai, Red Samurai, Lauren, Red Samurai, Zato, Dino Fury, SPD A Squad, Mac, Overdrive, Operation Overdrive, Troy, regular Megaforce, Season 1. Rita's Dumpster is the movie, New Age movie, not the 1995 movie, 2017 movie. Jason Scott, Mighty, Mighty Morphin Red. And then further study just because myself and Jeremy have touch and go with Ninja Steel, so we would have to watch it all the way through to give an accurate description, which we will revisit this entire list when that time comes. But further study needed. Brody, Ninja Steel, Red Ranger. So this is our list, you guys. If you guys feel differently, by all means, hit us up in the comments. Let us know what you guys would do differently. If you guys want to make your own list with these characters on it, you guys are more than welcome to.
Tag us.
Tag us.
Live us.
Yep. I'll show you guys the name of it. Boom. It's MMPR Dino Fury Red Ranger tier list. Right? And you'll know it's the right one because it has follow PhenomenalMiklo. Okay? Have this option. Doesn't have this option, it is not from us. Okay? So, just let you guys know. Doesn't have the follow PhenomenalMiklo on the Twitter, then it's not us. But this is our list. Okay? Let's go back to presentation mode. So, with that being said, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and save this. I just want to download it. And we're gonna go ahead and post this up on our Instagram as well as the video is gonna be posted up on our YouTube and our Facebook pages. So, with that being said, you guys, um, if you guys feel differently about the list, by all means, let us know. Yeah,
All right. I mean, follow us on our socials. We're on Zeonizer Podcast on Facebook. Follow my boy PhenomenalMiklo on Twitch. He's got some good stuff. Um, he does a lot of wrestling stuff too. Um, recently did AEW. Check that one out. That was dope. We also are on Instagram on Instagram. It's called Instagram Podcast 3 on that Instagram podcast. Oh, it's late. Zeonizer Podcast 3. Um, our followers are growing. So we appreciate all who's followed us. Uh, thank you, everyone who gave us a lot of days to do this. Um, we got a lot in store, a lot planned out, but we're definitely going to be doing a lot in the next 4 months. We have streams coming up. Uh, so we do have a Twitch, Zeonizer Pod 3. Again, we don't have anything on that Twitch quite yet. We are working our way to Diablo 4. That'll be our first stream, so feel free to check us out if you like Diablo 4. If not, swing by, chat with us, talk talk to us. We're two very social guys. Well, actually three. Leave JPD out. Okay? We have a third guy. He's dealing with some things right now, but he should be back on in a couple weeks. Um, we're still going to welcome him with arms wide open. We always do. Uh, so y'all leave a like, comment. Uh, the likes help us out a lot. So it tells us that you guys enjoy it. If you want more, comment. Let us know what you think when you hear this, how you would hear it. Feel free to tag us. Hey guys, this is how it's supposed to be done. And then we'll look at it. If we agree with it, trust me, we will. If we don't, you hear from us. Um, but yeah, you guys have been great. You guys have been awesome. Um,
Yep.
is there anything you want to put into?
I mean, just thank you guys. I mean, we make this content and stuff because we want to, for one, but also because we want to be able to bring the fandom together and not the toxic fandom. Because over the last few days, we've experienced, a lot of the toxic fandom that there is with the Power Ranger community, and we don't want that. Okay, so
No.
if you're about being toxic and hey, this has to be your way or the highway, then you know what? You're not really a fan of Power Rangers like that. I'm not gonna say you're a true fan, but a fan of Power Rangers doesn't judge somebody because of how they are or what their opinions are. I mean, JDF said it best. Just because you have different opinions with somebody doesn't mean that you know you guys can't get along or their opinions are their opinions. Okay, he said it the way
Mm-hmm.
he said it, but I'm paraphrasing at this point. Okay, um, we we're different. Okay, we celebrate Power Rangers how we want to celebrate. We talk about what we want to talk about, right? But we rank everything with straight facts. I mean, we've watched YouTube. You can watch all the seasons of Power Rangers on YouTube. If you guys go on YouTube and look up Power Rangers official, you can watch all the Power Ranger seasons from Mighty Morphin season 1 all the way up to Dino Fury. You guys, it's not that hard. Okay. You can even watch it on Netflix. Those of you that have access to Netflix, you guys can watch Power Rangers, at least in the United States, Power Rangers from, I believe, Samurai on. So they have Samurai, Dino Charge, Ninja Steel, and Dino Fury, Beast Morphers, right? They have these different Ranger series, the new Neo Saban era, Hasbro era. Okay, so um, at the end of the day, you guys, we're not trying to just criticize, you know, you know, Power Ranger universe. We're picking on what we feel like about Power Rangers. Okay, and you guys can feel differently. That by all means, we encourage it. We want you guys to give us the feedback and be like, hey, no, that's wrong. This is the reason why. Okay, cool. But make sure that you guys are spitting facts to us when you guys are giving us your opinion. Don't just give us your opinion because this is how you feel. Okay. Um, if you guys tell us, oh well, no, in actuality, you know, I don't know.
Just okay.
Yeah.
We understand. We understand it's your favorite Ranger, and we didn't choose that Ranger. We apologize, but you got to know something. Everyone's opinion is going to be different. I tell people constantly, we all agreed, and everyone on the planet agreed on the same thing. It would be really boring.
Yep.
Um, but everyone's opinion is unique and it's different, and it's wonderful. It's great. And I say this every time. We can all disagree and still be friends. It's just there's certain people that want to be right no matter what. And if you told them you opinion, oh, you're wrong, they're right, and they start being toxic towards you. So that's
Mhm.
not good. We don't want that, especially in this community. Um, so you guys have been great to us. You guys have been just so good to us. Um, everyone. I mean, we only have like 30 followers on Instagram, but we're growing as a community, as a podcast team. Um, I was literally thinking I was going to tell David today, but I was literally thinking maybe one day when we amass enough people, we can actually do a let's watch together stream where we hope to have a live stream where we watch nothing but Power Rangers. We just spin a wheel and determine which series we watch, and that's the series that we watch. And you guys can come in and watch it. And we can
Mhm.
talk, communicate, and chat. Uh, that's on the list of what we want to do. Uh, we are currently, like I said, we're putting in a lot of content, writing a lot of stuff. In the meantime, we are also dealing with our own individual things in our life. I know David's going through some things, new job wise. Wish him the best of luck as well. Uh,
Mhm.
I'm start working two jobs. Plan on going to school next spring. Uh, as of working two jobs and going to school, I'm gonna try to work through as much content as I can with the deep input, and it's gonna be yeah, very different, very different. Very different. So, look, go check us out on Facebook, YouTube. We got some good episodes. We did one with Grimm. We've done a couple with our boy Jerry, and hopefully one day do a interview with actual Rangers. That would be a highlight of our podcast career. Um,
Mhm.
go check out our sponsors, Dubby and Apparel. Those guys are great and so awesome to us. Check them out. Make sure to use Zeonizer promo code for 10% off. And trust me, that comes in handy. I mean, it really does. So if there's not anything else that needs to be said, you need anything else you want to say?
Nah, man. I mean, I think we pretty much covered it all.
I run the Instagram page, Zeonizer Podcast 3. Uh, David does a lot of the work with recording, editing the videos. Gary brings a lot of cultural topics to the table. The majority of the stuff that we've talked about, he's brought up. So I figured that we going to start doing live streams, uh, just live videos on the Instagram page. I'm going to invite David, so I just feel like I'm doing about it because still working over my fear of showing my face on video. So that being said, you guys have been great. You guys have been awesome. We are currently working on our own merch line, so be patient with us on that as well. A lot of good things coming in the near future. So but in order for y'all to tune in and for y'all to realize and to understand that the Zeonizer podcast team is going to be on that scene very soon. So without further ado, we like to always tell our viewers, if you want to be Zeonized, you know where to find us. Yep.
Have a good night, everybody.
Ciao.